Democrats are increasingly hopeful their path to retake the Senate could run through Trump-friendly Iowa. National Republicans are set to spend nearly $30 million defending Senator Joni Ernst's seat, since she won't be running for a third term this November. And a big question is whether Trump voters will still show up for Republicans when Trump is not on the ballot. One of the Democrats who sees an opening here is Iowa State Senator Zach Wahls. Here's part of his campaign ad.
I'll stand up to leaders of both parties because they're not delivering for us. I'm a sixth-generation Iowan and a new generation of Democrat. I believe in the old Democratic values of hard work and family, not handouts for billionaires and insiders. Standing up for workers' rights and civil rights, like I always have.
And Iowa State Senator Zach Wahls joins us now. Senator, great to have you on the show. So Iowa has gone firmly Republican the last several presidential elections. Trump beat Harris by nearly 13 percentage points in the 2024 race in Iowa and has won Iowa in 2020 and in 2016 as well. So what does it take for a Democrat to appeal to Iowans at this stage, at this point?
Well, good evening, everyone. It's good to be with you tonight. What I will tell you is Iowa voters are sick of what's happening in Washington, and that is why Trump's approval rating in our state is in free fall. It's fallen 20 points. He's now 9 points underwater. Since Election Day of 2024, we have won we've had massive 20-point plus over performances in special elections and 6 straight special elections for our state legislature. And I will tell you, as we travel across Iowa, we've been to 66 of the 99 counties. Folks are really upset about what's happening in our economy, the tariffs that are hurting Iowa farmers, that are driving up prices for everybody. There's a lot of concern about the war with Iran, and folks are ready, I think, to rotate the crops, and we're meeting them where they are, and our message is resonating.
Zach, what can you actually deliver for the voters of Iowa when it comes to affordability? I think it's very easy to criticize rising prices, as we saw with the current president. That's part of how he won office. It's a little bit harder to bring prices down or to curb inflation. What's your agenda on that front?
Well, I'll give you 2 quick things. Number 1, we have to stop these tariffs that are making everything more expensive. And 2, I will never vote to authorize an endless war in the Middle East. Iowa has already paid too high of a human toll, and we are seeing the economic price as well, whether it's at the pump or the cost of fertilizer that's going through the roof. Both of those things are things that we can do. And as a U.S. Senator, those are things that I will make sure are a priority, because that's what Iowans need.
There's reporting that your Republican opponent, Ashley Hinson, and her allies are actively boosting you because they would rather run against you than another primary candidate in the Democratic primary. Do you take that as a compliment, or why would they be saying that?
Well, let me tell the folks at home about Ashley Hinson. She is one of the top 10 sellouts in Congress, according to the Political Integrity Project. She has voted to cut Social Security. She's co-sponsored a total abortion ban. She's been a rubber stamp for Donald Trump's failed agenda, whether it's the tariffs, tax cuts for Elon Musk and the billionaires, voting to cut rural health care funding, food assistance, investment in affordable energy. She's been a cheerleader for ICE. And just like Chuck Schumer, I'll say this: Ashley Hinson does not understand how angry Iowa voters are with leaders from both parties in Washington, how sick we are of the corruption of big money in our politics, politicians who only answer to party bosses instead of their constituents. And I'm going to defeat Ashley Hinson this November because Iowans know that we need a senator who doesn't work for Chuck Schumer or Donald Trump or the super PACs and the billionaires and the big corporations. We need a senator who works for us. And if you agree, you can join us at ZachWalls.com to learn more about the campaign and get involved.
Senator, let me ask you really quickly, because you brought up the issue of foreign policy with endless wars in the Middle East. There's a raging debate now within the Democratic Party about support for Israel, and I'm wondering, what are you hearing from Iowans, and more importantly, as to whether or not, if you as a sitting member of the U.S. Senate would continue to send aid to Israel for both offensive and defensive purposes, and where you come down on that debate that is raging right now among support for Israel among the Democratic Party?
Well, I'll tell you, it's not an issue that comes up all that often in Iowa. But what I can tell you is this. Iowans want peace in this region. We want a two-state solution. And I don't think that the United States should be sending a blank check to Israel, which has been an important partner of this country. But we need to make sure that we have a policy that is actually making a two-state solution more likely, not less likely. And unfortunately, that is where we are today after 2.5 years of fighting.
State Senator Zach Wahls, thank you.